Central platforms that give the individual control over their communities has enabled diversity all across categories to thrive. The introduction of Steam helped the viability of an entirely new generation of indie devs to be born, while platforms like Discord and Twitter gave creators the opportunity to curate, nurture, and grow communities they identify with. Welcome to our last episode in Shaw's Ahead of the Curve video series, where we've been exploring and celebrating the history of diversity and inclusion in the video game space. So the first thing that we'll start off with is just your intro, your shout outs. Who are you? What do you want people to know?
My name is Per. I'm a cosplayer, streamer, VTuber, and overall just content creator.
I'm Ailey Loney, also known as Alias V. I am a full-time content creator and commentator for Magic the Gathering.
My name's Carl Peterson. I'm a Lakota game designer.
I'm Cutie Pie Sensei. I cosplay. I am a concept artist for the game Smite, and I am a co-owner of the company Fearware.
Hey, I'm Asika, and I am a partner on Twitch.
Marcel, or MD14. I'm a variety streamer here based out of Toronto.
Well, my name's Stephanie. I have been gaming since I was born, if you could say that.
My name is Tong, and I run Tampa Never Sleeps. We're one of the largest fighting game organizations for online fighting games in the world.
My name is Vince, also known as Uncle Vince here in the Canadian fighting game community. I am a TO and event organizer.
Do you think the introduction of Steam changed the face of gaming?
Oh, definitely so.
Absolutely.
Big time. Big time. Steam changed things big time.
So as someone who was around when Steam got introduced, it was a mess when it came out, but it really has changed how gaming reaches the masses.
From a developer standpoint, I've known a lot of friends and stuff that are also in the industry that have been able to make their own games and get it published.
Before, you had to get a Nintendo cartridge and get it licensed by Nintendo. Now I could just make a game and be hey, try it out.
You can go out there and work on a game. You can start a small little company or a passion project and put that out there and make it happen.
Obviously, the contrast of trying to get a game on console, that's a completely different beast. People being able to just have that access, I think, is really cool.
Steam really opened my eyes. I mean, having everything integrated through one program. I mean, I only really got into Steam because I started streaming. And then people are like, hey, you should play this game. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Where should I get it? And they're like, oh, get it on Steam. I'm like, what the heck is Steam?
It definitely made it a lot easier to try as many games as you want. The Steam library is no joke.
Very quickly after Steam released, Xbox, PlayStation, etc., they really made a push to make digital available for people.
As we kind of see all these other platforms come up, EA has their own platform, Epic has their own platform. It's the way to get games out to people now. I think we've really moved beyond that physical disc-based kind of structure.
When was the last time you went to a store and actually bought a box with a disc inside? And if you don't like it on Steam, you can just be like, return.
What games are you playing right now?
Oh, when I have time. New mom, hi. I'm playing Marvel Snap a bunch because it's easy to play in between feeds and diaper changes and during naps if he sleeps. Playing Magic the Gathering a bunch because that's my job, but still want to. I need some time to myself to play more.
Playing a lot of World of Warcraft.
Dead Space, Fire Emblem Engage.
Hades, Cult of the Lamb, so a lot of roguelikes. Bloodborne, which has been really fun. It's my first Soulsborne experience, so it's been tough, but it's been a really good time.
With my partner and I, we love to sit on the couch and play through single player experiences together. Right now we're playing through XCOM Enemy Within. We're also playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic. Project Zomboid is another one I play a lot of with our friend group.
Mostly Overwatch, actually. Overwatch 2. Still play, my favorite fighting game is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Play that religiously, still to this day.
We joke here in the fighting game community, Final Fantasy 14 is called the retirement home. I live in the retirement home now.
Where do you think most of your discussion about games and gaming happens?
Twitter is a big one.
Twitter is probably where I get most of my information about games.
Twitter and Instagram are also places I talk about gaming quite a lot.
I am in the weird situation where gaming is also kind of entrenched in my job. I mostly talk about it at work.
Reddit is always the place I kind of go to.
Most of the established creators, they have Discord communities.
Definitely with Discord.
It makes sense. It's a platform for gamers mostly to speak and hang out.
If I'm going to talk about games, I'm going to talk about it with the people on Discord. I have very few friends at home that's into gaming.
You kind of form your own little Discord group, so we'll chat a lot about new games and stuff in there.
Obviously, Discord is another tool that has revolutionized gaming and how we communicate. I feel like almost nobody uses the actual, voice chat anymore. Everybody's in Discord now, so.
I haven't really figured Discord out all that well, so, I kind of just joined something and then turn off all notifications because I am like ADD almost. I can't focus on that many things at once.
Also, a lot of conventions especially, because especially cosplaying someone from a game is kind of just like a big walking like, hey, I like this thing, look at me.
Do you think this has really helped you find people that you identify with?
Absolutely. Discord has been probably, with, the pandemic and everything, has really brought people closer together.
I'm part of a lot of like Discord groups and stuff that have nothing to do with gaming either. Like so many people now use it for different things. Like for me, it's just been cool kind of having a place that encourages community.
It really kind of was a small world, and connecting with other people was huge. It still is.
Social media platforms, say like Twitter, Twitch, even Discord, because they're not necessarily gaming focused explicitly or exclusively, it can be easier for people from outside of the, say, bubble to find their way in with each other. And I've seen so many incredible creators connect to each other and build these cross-supporting communities of people. It's like this amazing domino effect of support and inclusion. And it reaches all the way. It's incredible because they can identify with each other in the first place. There's that common ground of social media where everybody really can just walk in the door.
I found it's really cool too that I've especially been able to find a lot of people that are LGBT or neurodivergent or disabled that are also into these same things as me. So it's like everyone into this one niche thing, but they're also a lot like me. And it's something that I've never really experienced before.
It kind of streamlined the whole, meeting strangers online process.
What do you think is missing in gaming right now?
Digital babysitters for parents who want to play games. Good internet worldwide. That would make one hell of a difference.
VR, I think, is a huge opening for this.
I mean, with all the technology we got coming out, give us more VR.
Things like VR chat, they're a totally different type of environment.
Because like that whole world is like phenomenal. Just the creativity, people building full games.
I would love more story-based games, though.
There's not as much in person anymore. I used to have friends come over to play games together. Yeah, we don't really do that anymore.
Accessibility options in gaming. Make more of a dialogue too about being accommodating, not just in games, but in spaces where we have people talk about games.
Companies need to find a way to get on top of all this toxicity.
As long as it's big companies looking for their quick buck, it's going to continue to degrade. The social fabric of games is going to continue to be completely toxic.
Making sure that there is a diversity of all kinds in gaming from the top to the bottom. Studios, publishers, not just junior artists, for example, but it should go all the way up. There should be women, queer people, people of color in positions throughout these companies and organizations.
The more inclusive the games are, the more diverse audience it would attract.
The biggest thing to kill a game is the community. My whole thing is always just hold your friends accountable. The people you bring with you are accountable for them. They're accountable for you, and that's what we have to do. We have to teach each other. We gotta learn from each other. And until people start actually holding their friends accountable, it's not going to get better.
But I think that especially in a community where it's a bunch of people who have felt outcast or felt like othered or very isolated for a long time, we need to remember that there are still people in that community that still feel that way for other reasons. Yeah, that we all feel just as included.
When it comes down to the consumer level, steps need to be taken to make sure that everybody feels safe to participate and that, we're not brushing, for example, racism under the rug in the FPS genre over the mic. Like there should be appropriate punishment for that to make sure everybody feels not disrespected just off the bat. And hopefully that extends beyond gaming and into their personal lives as well, because this stuff has gone on, frankly, far too long, and we can do much better, and it can start from the top.
Everyone is accommodated for and everyone feels comfortable so that it's as great of an experience for one person as it is for another person.
And maybe we as players need to express this to them, right? Is that if we want those systems in our game where there's long-term connections and communities, we need to make sure that those types of systems are built into the gameplay of the games we play.
I think what we really need to focus on gaming is just continuing to show the world that it's a fun place to be. Creating content, showing people how to get into video games, breaking down the barriers, especially, where we know they are. How do we make the bar for entry into gaming much lower. And even, another place that we really haven't looked is how do we get older folks into gaming? This is a very unique perspective, because for young folk, it's easy, it's second nature for us, but for the older folk, there's so much entertainment that they're missing out on, and perhaps they never thought about trying.
I don't necessarily think it's missing something so much as like it just needs time to grow a little bit more. And I just hope that, more respect comes. And I think it has over time. I think the idea of esports has become more mainstream. I think like colleges and stuff are starting to take it seriously and that kind of thing, and it's really cool. So I'm just excited to see where it goes.
Thank you for joining us on this whirlwind journey through the growth of the gaming industry and the increasingly inclusive and diverse spaces that come with it. Let us know in the comments what your favorite story was from our guests, and if you haven't seen the other 3 episodes, then go watch! We appreciate you coming with us, and we look forward to everything the gaming industry has done and will continue to do to bring people together from around the world.